The City Council opens the public hearing regarding reductions to the downtown central business district. The Framingham School Committee makes their budget request for the upcoming year, and a look at the community's ties to the sport of baseball ahead of opening day at Fenway Park. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start this week with the City Council's meeting from this Tuesday, April 1st, as the public hearing regarding possible reductions to the downtown central business district has opened. Earlier this year, Massachusetts officials approved of Mayor Charlie Sisitsky's proposal to utilize the CB area as a way to comply with the MBTA Communities Act, the state law that mandates that multifamily by right zoning be provided by cities and towns with T service. With conditional compliance already secured, Framingham leaders have been mulling reductions to the boundaries to the CB district, as proponents say a new reduced district would provide enough rooms to zone for the roughly 4,300 units required for the city to maintain their status regarding the zoning law.
This district was created as a by right district to begin with, so there's not a lot of changes. The only change would be is we're reducing the size of the district and we're reverting back all of the properties that were currently in this that would be taken out to their original zoning.
Framingham Economic Development and Industrial Corporation Chair Doug Lawrence told City Council members that local developers have been looking for certain building height and residential density measures to be approved in order to boost economic development within the CB district. However, officials like District 8 City Councilor Leslie White Harvey expressed concerns about the potential effects of overdevelopment.
I can tell you the people who live there, I know the developers, some of them may live there, but do not want to see tall buildings. It needs to match the neighborhood because we do have a neighborhood feel. Even if it's a downtown, it's like an older downtown.
No vote on the possible changes to the CB district's borders was taken this week, as the public hearing on the topic is scheduled to continue during the City Council's meeting on May 6th. The Framingham School Committee requested a budget of about $185.5 million for the upcoming fiscal year during their meeting on Wednesday, April 2nd. Some context prior to the recent vote: during their meeting on Wednesday, March 26th, the committee's pitch had gone down from the mark of roughly $190.5 million outlined a few weeks ago to $186.6 million, which would have represented around an 8% increase from FY25. Officials with Framingham Public Schools have been working to reduce the overall budget for FY26. Those cuts off the initial budget request, which totaled around $4.4 million, were mainly made up by new position reductions. That late March budget proposal from FPS featured $12 million for various salary line items, along with just over $7 million for costs associated with the creation of an in-house bus transportation system amid ongoing driver shortages in Framingham. Still, city and school leaders were almost exactly $5 million apart on their school budget figures. City officials are proposing a $181.6 million school budget for the 2026 fiscal year. With that, District 2 School Committee member David Gordon suggested in late March that the vote to recommend a budget to Mayor Sisitsky should be delayed, while FPS continues to analyze potential budget reductions.
There may be $50K here, $50K there, $40K here that could essentially just move the needle closer to a number. It's a large gap. $5 million it's a big number to close.
Now fast forward to this week, where an additional $1 million in cuts were outlined by FPS officials, who explained that the most recent cuts were found by shifting certain salary levels, reconfiguring their equity department, reducing contracted services, and other measures. The final budget request from the school committee, which was passed unanimously on Wednesday, is for $185.6 million, still $4 million apart from what the mayor's administration has been seeking. School Superintendent Dr. Robert Tremblay said that any further cuts to the school budget request would require reductions to educational programs and staffing. Sisitsky will have to present the budget to city councilors by April's end. From there, the City Council is slated to vote on adopting the FY26 municipal budget in June. More details on the key stories we cover every week on the program, along with additional resources and content, such as a community calendar filled with local events and full feature pieces we've completed across Framingham, can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. Be sure that you're subscribed to our email newsletter so that you never miss out on Framingham News in Focus. Follow us on social media too. Our Instagram handle can be found at @FrameNews_, and you can search for The Frame on Facebook. Subscribe to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever a new episode of our news program is published. You can also listen to or watch The Frame on Spotify. City officials have launched a new survey to gauge feedback from Framingham residents regarding what they'd like to see included in the plans to develop a new community center. Responses to the survey will be used in the development of the center, which is primed to be located at the site of the former Marion High School, though Sisitsky noted to city councilors this week that a new pool will not be feasible within the scope of work at that site. Contractors have recently begun window and repair work at the building along Union Avenue. The launch of this new survey online comes after the passing of a federal funding bill last month that excluded millions of dollars that were previously earmarked for the Framingham Community Center project. Sisitsky noted that due to the loss of money that was previously requested by U.S. Senators Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, along with U.S. Representative Catherine Clark, that the timeline to develop the community center will have to be pushed back, though the city is reapplying to secure those dollars for the project once more. In the meantime, the survey will be open through September 1st on the city's website. Head to www.framinghamma.gov/formcenter to find it. A couple of notes for you now as the weekend approaches. First, a final reminder that the public hearing regarding the closure of the Level 2B Special Care Nursery at Framingham Union Hospital will be taking place at the Memorial Building this upcoming Wednesday, April 9th. Residents are invited to Nevins Hall that evening from 6 to 9:30 p.m. for the meeting, as Sisitsky has advised that Tenet Healthcare is planning on closing that level of the nursery in mid-June. The public hearing is required by state law to be held 90 days prior to the planned closure. The mayor told city council members on Tuesday that Metro West Medical Center CEO John Whitlock Jr. is expected to step down from the role and leave the organization prior to that hearing. Also, the Framingham Yard Waste facility along Dudley Road will open on Friday, April 4th. Residents will need up-to-date permits to utilize the facility, which will be open 7 days a week. The Framingham DPW has more details on the waste site for those looking to learn more. Finally, this Sunday the 6th marks the return of the Battle of the Badges, the hockey game between Framingham's police and fire departments. Admission to see the battle for bragging rights at Loring Arena is free. The puck will drop at 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Sticking with sports as we move to the final part of the show, a preview of our weekly frame-by-frame segment. This Friday marks opening day at Fenway Park in Boston, America's most beloved ballpark, as the Red Sox will take on the St. Louis Cardinals. With another season of baseball now underway, we wanted to take a look at the community spot in baseball's history. In the latest installment of our series, produced in conjunction with the Framingham History Center to commemorate Framingham's 325th anniversary, we learned more about the city's connection with the sport and the pair of major league teams that have played in the area, along with the players and clubs that have called Framingham home.
Just as baseball is America's pastime, you can see that being a pastime in Framingham as well. And this was really part of company and organization culture at the time. You can see in the late 1880s, but starting up in the 1900s, where these large organizations would have baseball teams and then later basketball teams that would start playing each other. By the 1880s, we have indications in newspaper articles that Denison had a fielded baseball team. In fact, by the time they moved to Framingham, they were actually sending them out of state to Maine to go on these baseball tours.
As always, you can find that full frame-by-frame segment on our website, theframe.news, along with Access Framingham's YouTube channel. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of everyone here at The Frame, thanks for watching or for listening. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.